You crack open a can expecting dinner, but instead it hisses out chemical steam and a smell closer to a locker room than a kitchen. These cans are sold as safe, cheap, and family-friendly, yet they're packed with salt, sugar, and additives that can seriously damage your health. And the worst part, they're still stacked on every grocery aisle across the country. Today, we're counting down the 4 worst canned foods you should never bring home, and finishing strong with 4 safe picks you'll actually want in your pantry. Let's get into it. The worst one, Libby's Vienna sausage. Let's start with a tiny can that hides a massive problem. Coming in at number 1 on the worst list is Libby's Vienna sausages. Marketed as a quick, portable source of protein, these little sausages smell more like pet food the second you pop the lid. The hiss of the can, the whiff of metallic oil, and that pale rubbery log sliding out should already raise red flags. Here's the issue. 1 serving packs around 190 calories, 16 grams of fat, and nearly 800 milligrams of sodium. That's almost half a day's worth of salt in a snack that disappears into bites. Even more alarming, the fat outweighs the protein. 9 grams of protein versus 16 grams of fat. That's not balance, that's a bait and switch. For anyone managing blood pressure, cholesterol, or kidney problems, this isn't just a bad snack. It's a real health risk, and the ingredient list doesn't get better. Alongside mechanically separated chicken and pork, you'll find sodium nitrite, a preservative the World Health Organization has flagged as a potential cancer risk, particularly in processed meats. Europe has already tightened limits on this additive. US shelves, however, remain fully stocked. After a couple of bites, the gummy texture, the salty aftertaste, and the stomach discomfort will tell you everything you need to know. If you're after quick protein from a can, skip the sausages and reach for wild-caught salmon or tuna in water instead. To Wolf brand chili. No beans taking the number 2 worst spot is the chili that brags about being hearty but could send your heart into overdrive. Wolf brand chili, no beans. The label is plastered with cowboy fonts and bold colors promising authentic Texas flavor. Open the can and you're greeted by a greasy red pool that sloshes like an oil slick. That's not dinner. That's a warning. 1 single cup clocks in at 390 calories, 28 grams of fat, and 950 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly half your daily salt limit in 1 serving. And let's be honest, nobody stops at 1 cup. Finish the full can and you're looking at close to 2,000 milligrams of sodium, basically hitting your entire daily limit in 1 sitting. According to the American Heart Association, it gets worse. The can sneaks in trans fat, the kind the FDA and WHO both agree should be avoided entirely. Trans fat clogs arteries, raises bad cholesterol, and increases the risk of heart disease. For seniors on heart or blood pressure medication, this product is genuinely dangerous. The ingredient list has shifted from kitchen tradition to corporate shortcut, with preservatives that keep it shelf-stable for years and additives your body is quietly paying for. If you want chili without wrecking your arteries, make your own with low-sodium beans, fresh vegetables, and lean ground turkey, or grab Amy's Organic Medium Chili instead. 3. Del Monte Peach Halves in Heavy Syrup. At number 3 on the worst list is the fruit that pretends to be healthy while drowning in syrup thicker than cough medicine. Del Monte Peach Halves in Heavy Syrup. The label screams fresh, natural sweetness. Open the can and you're hit with a cloying, sticky smell that's closer to a candy shop than an orchard. The peaches glisten like they've been varnished, sitting in a golden pool that coats your spoon like molasses. Here's the reality. 1/2 cup serving packs between 16 and 21 grams of sugar, about the same as a fun-sized Snickers bar, hiding under the label of fruit. Eat the whole cup and you've consumed the sugar equivalent of a full 12-ounce soda, all while thinking you made a smart choice. The syrup itself is a combination of corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, and plain white sugar. That's dessert pretending to be dinner. For seniors, this isn't just about calories. That sugar spike puts strain on blood pressure, the kidneys, and blood sugar regulation. The CDC reports 1 in 3 Americans over 65 already lives with diabetes or prediabetes. This can add fuel to that fire. In most European countries, canned fruit is packed in juice or light syrup because the EU cracked down on high fructose corn syrup years ago. Here in the US, heavy syrup is still the default. If you enjoy canned fruit, look for the no sugar added Del Monte line, or choose cans packed in 100% fruit juice. Even better, go with frozen peaches, picked ripe, flash frozen, and free of syrup entirely. For a Rosarita traditional refried beans, we're saving the worst for last. At number 4 on the worst list, the absolute bottom of the barrel, is Rosarita traditional refried beans. The label calls it authentic Mexican flavor. The commercials show happy families spooning it onto plates. Peel back the lid and what you actually get is a thick, greasy paste that hits your nose with the smell of old shortening. Half a cup delivers around 580 milligrams of sodium, nearly a quarter of your daily limit, before you've even added rice, tortillas, or cheese. These beans are made with lard, which means saturated fat, the kind that clogs arteries and raises cholesterol. And if you eat the entire can, you've pushed well past the FDA's recommended daily sodium threshold. For seniors on blood pressure medication, that kind of sodium spike can trigger swelling, dizziness, and heart strain. The brand markets this as tradition, but using lard and packing in excess sodium when healthier options exist is a choice, not heritage. Open it cold and you'll see a solid brick of beans and fat. Heat it up and a greasy sheen rises to the surface. It sticks to the spoon like glue and leaves you bloated. The fix is simple. Grab a vegetarian or low-sodium option like Amy's Organic refried beans with green chilies. Or buy plain canned black or pinto beans. Rinse them to cut sodium by up to 40%, and mash them yourself with a splash of olive oil. It takes 5 minutes and your heart will thank you. The BEST1 Wild Planet Wild Pink Salmon. Now let's flip the script. Starting off, the safe picks at number 1 is Wild Planet Wild Pink Salmon, the can that puts real nutrition back into your pantry. Unlike the greasy mystery cans we just covered, this one delivers on its promise. No lard, no syrup, no chemical aftertaste, just clean protein pulled from the cold waters of Alaska. Crack it open and you get firm, light pink flakes with no rubbery sludge and no chemical smell. It's packed in its own juices, not drowned in brine or artificial sauce. Each 3-ounce serving gives you about 17 grams of lean protein along with roughly 700 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, the kind that helps lower triglycerides, support heart rhythm, and reduce blood pressure, according to the American Heart Association. That's a significant swap from the 580 milligrams of sodium in Rosarita refried beans. Wild Planet uses wild-caught Alaskan pink salmon, not farm-raised fish packed with antibiotics. Cleaner water, fewer toxins, and a more sustainable catch. Use it on a salad, mash it with avocado for a spread, or toss it in pasta. No extra salt needed. It's fast, filling, and it won't send your blood pressure through the roof. 2. Wild Planet Wild Sockeye Salmon. Landing at number 2 on the safe list is Wild Planet Wild Sockeye Salmon, the deeper, richer salmon that tastes like an upgrade instead of a compromise. Crack open this can and the difference is immediate. The color is rich, ruby red, like something pulled from a high-end seafood counter. That's because sockeye naturally contains more oil than pink salmon, which translates to a bolder flavor and a higher concentration of omega-3 south. A 3-ounce serving delivers around 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, more than the American Heart Association's daily recommendation. That's not a marketing claim. That's lab-tested nutrition you can keep on your shelf. The ingredient list is clean. Just fish, a small amount of salt, and the bones left in. Those soft, edible bones are worth keeping. They're a surprising source of calcium. Seniors who struggle to get enough dairy can get close to a third of their daily calcium needs from just half a can. Each serving also delivers around 500 U of vitamin D, roughly half the daily value. That supports bone health, immune function, and mood naturally, without fortification. This is the opposite of canned regret. It's the kind of food you can actually feel good about putting on the table. 3. Bumblebee Skipjack Light Tuna in Water. Coming in at number 3 on the safe side is Bumblebee Skipjack Light Tuna in Water, tuna that fuels you without the mercury risk that comes with other varieties. Open the can and you get firm flakes, a clean smell, and lean protein without the greasy film you find in oil-packed versions. Here's why Skipjack stands out. It naturally contains far less mercury than albacore, roughly 1/3 as much, according to FDA data. That matters especially for seniors, children, and anyone on heart medication. Over time, mercury accumulates in the body, and the last thing you want is your daily protein putting you at risk. 1 3-ounce serving gives you around 20 grams of protein with fewer than 100 calories. That's lean fuel without unnecessary additives. The water-packed version keeps calories low and avoids the unhealthy fats that come with oil-packed alternatives. Watch the sodium, check the label for low salt or no salt added versions when possible. One simple trick: rinsing canned tuna under cold water can reduce sodium by up to 35%, according to one study. That's an easy win. Use it in tuna salad with Greek yogurt instead of mayo to cut saturated fat while keeping protein high, or toss it over greens with lemon juice for a quick, heart-healthy meal. This is tuna that respects your body. 4. Bush's Best Low Sodium, Black Beans Best. Rounding out the list at the top of the safe picks is Bush's Best Low Sodium, Black Beans, proof that canned food doesn't have to be the enemy. Open the can and you don't get that sting of brine in your nose. You get beans that look like beans. Firm, dark, and ready to use without flooding your system with sodium. A regular can of refried beans, like the Rosarito we covered, packs around 580 milligrams of sodium per half cup. Bush's Low Sodium Black Beans cut that nearly in half. For anyone trying to keep their heart healthy, that breathing room adds up. Each half-cup serving also brings 5 to 6 grams of fiber to support digestion and help regulate blood sugar, a meaningful benefit for seniors managing diabetes or insulin resistance. On top of that, you get around 7 grams of protein, making this a filling side or the base of a quick, balanced meal. The ingredient list is exactly what it should be: beans, water, and a touch of salt. No lard, no mystery fats, no hidden MSG. Simple food done right. And if you want to go even further, rinse them under cold water to reduce sodium even more and wash away some of the starch that can cause digestive discomfort. Compare that to every can on the worst list and these beans feel like a lifeline. Affordable, clean, and versatile, they prove that canned food can back you up instead of betray you.